I didn't like that he made it, but that's a cool feeling. I like being in that environment, And this place, if you want to find that environment, it's in Sacramento.
Coach, Nikola was particularly animated in most of the huddles. Was that part of the plan, or is he just want to take on a little more responsibility and trying to fire up the guys and drawing plays and all that stuff?
We were trying to give them a little more leeway to let them communicate and talk first. So now that doesn't always go well, but it did tonight. And I talked about it before the game, but you have to be okay with criticism from your teammates. These are your brothers. Like, you guys are going through this journey together. They're not being personal with you. They're trying to accomplish a goal for that night. So if we can do that and it can be a positive going forward, that really helps when things get tough, them relying on one another, because then that bleeds onto the court and the communication gets better. If you go from the timeout to the court, that's where you really see good things. So, yeah, there was a bunch of examples. Aaron was great. CB, unfortunately, I have him breaking the huddle now. I guess that's his new thing. I'm not sure if he's comfortable with it, but he stepped up, so that's his role now.
One of the things that Jalen did, the second quarter and the fourth quarter, you subbed him in. Things had gotten chaotic for you guys.
Yeah.
And you guys got 3 good possessions in a row each time you subbed him in that second and fourth quarter. How important were those possessions, and what did you see out of those possessions?
Steadiness. I mean, that is Jalen. Like, he's a steady kid. I think his biggest growth in the NBA is he is an old school point guard, the way he brings the ball up. And so everybody thinks they're going to pick him up. And it was effective when he first came in the league. And now he's found a way to navigate the ball up the floor in his style and allows us to run and execute sets because he's a really good screener. He's a really good catch-and-shoot guy. And he's got a good feel for just staying in his own lane. And when you have players as good as some of our guys are, if you can just do that, you can play. And you're right. There was a theme there. He did a really good job of taking care of the ball, getting us into our stuff, and like I said, being steady.
David, you mentioned the word vibe. How would you describe the vibe tonight? You mentioned it pregame.
Yeah, I like I said, I think it was a reaction to obviously what went on the last 30 hours, and like I said, I think competitive people don't want to lose 5 games in a row. So you can look at it this way or that way, or they made a change and this happened. I don't really buy that. I think this is professional sports. And if you get used to losing, you shouldn't be in this. And I think that was a big part of it, too. It was the emotion of what happened and the fact that, man, we've been embarrassing lately. We got to win a game. So it was cool to win in this environment, as you brought up.
David, apologies if you got asked this pregame, as I missed your visit. But
you missed out.
I wonder, once the organization made those tough decisions, but once kind of the spotlight internally came to you, just how did you handle your voice with the team, and what was the approach in terms of getting this ball rolling and the impact you want to have?
Yeah, I sound crazy, but I've been talking to the team for 8 years, and so I didn't feel like there was a big difference. I mean, I'm doing pre-games, I'm doing walkthroughs, I'm doing film sessions, all of them on one side of the ball. And so they've heard my voice forever, especially Nikola, Jamal, Michael. So to me, it was different responsibilities and delegation and in-game, but behind closed doors, I didn't really feel any difference. Outside of the stress of what had gone on, I don't think they heard me any different than they've heard me before. And so it felt pretty natural in that sense to step into it. This was completely different, obviously, running through the game and the delegation of what we're doing and all that. But, yeah, it felt pretty comfortable.
What was the celebration like in the locker room after the win? Did the team have a special water shower for you when you walked in or anything?
No, they've done that to me before in the past. I'm glad they didn't, because I really mean this. We got 2 games left. So it's cool. I'm sure it's a fun story and everything, but that's not the story. The story is the Nuggets need to win, and we need to win Friday. And we got to bring it Friday. And we got to bring it Sunday. Me coaching the team tonight, what went on, you have to turn the page and you have to look at what's important. And what's important is us competing on Friday night. It's not about me or somebody else feeling better about themselves tonight or the teams, all that stuff. It's come together and let's do something cool and special with these last 2 games.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Congratulations.